Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 2 of Rookie versus the Vet. Gonna filibuster for 10 seconds while I send out this tweet link here. But Donnavan, it is you. It is me. We are going head-to-head in a competition in the NHL Playoffs. The first round is complete. So that means we need to now give it our picks for round 2 of the NHL Playoffs. Really quick, we are going to recap, but in general, I think it's safe to say that this is the most NHL that you've watched before.
No, it's probably tied. I think 2016, the 2016 Stanley Cup playoffs, I was very much into it. But I had fallen off. But listen, I'm back though. I'm back.
Any general thoughts on the first round before we recap our picks? Do you have a team that you're cheering for?
I'm cheering. Well, I was actually like you. I was actually going for the Maple Leafs. And we'll get into it a little bit later, but they kind of broke my heart. So I don't know who I'm going for right now. I'm probably between two. I think I'm between the Rangers and the Blues. Those two teams are kind of where I'm at, but we'll get into the picks. But I think my overall thought is I forgot just how fun the NHL playoffs are. Like every night, especially because like those 4 games, and in the NBA, even in the first round when they have like 3 games on in a night, one of those games you'll end up just being like at halftime or something. You'll be like, okay, like I know exactly where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
In the NHL, even if it was like 3-1 after like the first period or after the second period, I'm still like, oh, I have no idea like what's gonna happen. Like, are they gonna be able to push this to overtime and we get a sudden death type of thing? So it's got about that entire aspect. So first round was awesome. It was awesome.
There were a few blowouts in some early games in the first round, but things tightened up. A lot of close series. There was only one that finished in a sweep, and the rest went at least 6. And then the last night, 2 Game 7s both went to overtime. Can't ask for much more than that. So let's get into the actual competition. For those who did not watch episode 1, myself and Donnavan are picking both the winner and how many games each series lasts in the playoffs. You get 1 point for each. If you nail both the team and how long the series lasts, you get a third bonus point. I was the only one to get a bonus point in the first round. I nailed the Lightning in 7 because of,
Of course, that's the one that you got right.
Let's talk about that series really quick before we bring up the recap graphic here. I talked about that series to you, to the other BetSided guys, and you guys were like, no, listen, Ian, don't worry about it. The Leafs are going to win this year. This is finally their time. I knew what was going to happen. Lightning in 7. Leafs lose in Game 7 year after year after year after year. I saw a status. They are the first team in the history of not only the NHL, but of any professional sport to lose in a winner go home or winner take all game in the first round 5 straight years. Game 7, Game 7, Game 5, which is a best of 5 in COVID year against the Blue Jackets. Game 7 last year, Game 7 this year.
Yeah, that was tough, and
yeah,
that was tough because they went up. There was like a 5-minute span. I can't remember if they had went up 1-0. I think they had went up 1-0, and then immediately after, Tampa Bay came back and responded like within like a 4 or 5 minute period. On like you can't even like hold your breath a little bit. I thought they were gonna cash it in 6. That was my pick from the beginning. They were up 3-2, had an opportunity to do it. We're in overtime. Like they were up 3-2 going into the third period. I was very much like, Ian, this is gonna happen, and they broke my heart. They really broke my heart.
Welcome to the club. I will say when they went up 3-2 in Game 6, I took the champagne out of the fridge. I cut my cigar. I was ready to celebrate. So that was on me. I should have known.
It's like it's like in the NBA when they start putting the yellow tape up. And, start putting the yellow tape up, bring the Larry Trophy down, and then next thing you know, Ray Allen hits a shot in the corner, and now we have a whole different series. That's tough.
And then Saturday night, I drank the most saddest bottle of champagne I've had in my life and smoked the saddest cigar I've had in my life. I mean, I wasn't going to...
With the paper bag over your head.
The paper bag over my head with half the champagne poured on myself. So it's a very depressing Saturday night. But enough about that. Let's bring up the recap graphic. The vet, yours truly, has a 9-7 lead over the rookie Donnavan. So it's still very close, still anyone's competition to win here, but obviously we got fewer series left. It's only 2 points separate us. So like I said earlier, the big bonus point, I got Lightning in 7. I was the only one who doubled up. Donnavan got 0 points in that series, which is kind of the swing. But Donnavan, you got at least 1 point in every other series, which was pretty impressive. And you got 6 out of the 7. We both got 6 out of the 7 winners correct. You got a point for the Bruins and Hurricanes going in 7.
That one hurt. I won't lie. Bruins losing in Game 7. That one hurt a lot because I really thought that I was going to be able to get that swing to make up for the Lightning winning in 7.
Yeah, and if Bruins won in 7, that would have been 2 extra points for you and 1 fewer point for me. So I mean, that 1 game swing, if that goes your way, you would be winning right now. So. The Wild really disappointed me. I had high hopes in the Minnesota Wild. I had them winning in 7. They lost in 6. And I almost got, to be fair, though, in Game 7, I almost got the biggest upset of the first round, the Kings over the Oilers. I got that going 7. Kings couldn't pull it out, though. So pretty even round. It was kind of like that third bonus point in the Lightning Leafs. It was kind of the difference maker here. So still lots left. We got our picks locked in for round 2. Like I said, fewer points though. Only 4 series, obviously, to talk about this time around. So, who started giving out the picks last time? Do you want to go first with your first pick, or do you want me to start?
No, I'll go first.
All right,
I'll go first. So we'll start in the East, and I will start with Florida versus Tampa Bay.
Okay,
we'll just start with that one. And I'll say this: I thought that the winner of I'll make my pick and I'll give my reasoning. So I'm going Tampa Bay in 5. I think the Lightning win this series in 5. I thought that whoever won out of Toronto and Tampa Bay was going to make it out of the East and get to the Stanley Cup final. And so I was very high on Toronto this year, and they let me down. But luckily, we only do this one round at a time, so I'm still alive. But the Lightning, they just they showed exactly why they're the back-to-back defending champions, and why they're making why they're going to make a serious run for this third ring. To be down 3-2, win in overtime in Game 6, then go on the road and win a Game 7 in a tight Game 7 as well. I know it's tough. It's tough to talk about this. And to be honest, while you were reading the recap of the first round, I could hear it in your voice, just your disdain for the first round as a whole, because you're just still so upset.
I hate that I now have to still need to continue to handicap and write about and make videos about the NHL playoffs. My heart's just not in it after what the Leafs did. But I'm sure once we get in the first round or the first game starting tonight, I'll get over it. But it still stings. But sorry, go on.
I feel that. But I don't know. I think Tampa Bay, they showed that championship grit. Their defense was able to stand up in major ways. And with Florida, I think both of us thought that Florida should have had a very easy time with Washington, and they were able to get pushed to the brink by the Capitals, and that kind of scares me a little bit, because now you're facing a team that is elevated in every single sense in terms of offense, defense, goaltending, and just mental toughness. And I think Tampa Bay comes out of that round as confident as ever. And, trying to three-peat is really, really hard. And there's a chance for it to go either, you end up flaming out in the first round because you're just too tired, or you're that team and you make a deep run. And the Lightning showed me that they're that team. So I think that they get this one pretty easily and then rest up for the conference final.
I was kind of surprised you went with the Lightning there, to be completely honest, especially 5 games. That's a bold call. The Panthers, the President's Trophy winners, they had the best record in the regular season. But to be fair, there's a thing in the NHL. It's not the streak doesn't continue now. I think someone's broke it recently, but the President's Trophy curse, whoever wins the President's Trophy, which is the team who wins the regular season, has historically not done well in the playoffs. So even though the Panthers have won the President's Trophy, it's not really an argument for that they're going to win the Stanley Cup, because history says otherwise. Yeah, let's get to my pick. I'm going to go Lightning as well. I'm not going to get quite as aggressive, though. I have Lightning in 6.
Okay.
For a lot of the same points that you just said. I wasn't a big believer in the Panthers heading into the playoffs. I think the Panthers got exposed in the first round. They played too wide open of a style to succeed in the postseason. It's a kind of style that will just crush bad hockey teams, but good, disciplined hockey teams with good goaltending. It's tough to win a 7-game series like that. And even the Capitals, who were probably they were the worst team in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs, had an expected goals per 60 minutes of 3.28 against the Panthers. Like that's too high. Now stylistically, the Panthers don't match up well with the Lightning at all. The Panthers were probably hoping to face the Leafs. The Leafs would have been a much better stylistic matchup for the Panthers. Lightning are just too good defensively. If you watch that series against the Maple Leafs, they keep their form on defense. It's not just their actual defensemen that are really good. Their forwards are really good playing in their own end. They collapse the box in tight. They don't let any shots come from the slot. The Leafs were lucky to score as many as they did. It's really just a testament to how good of shooters they are, because they weren't getting many high danger scoring chances. And then if you do, you have arguably the best goalie in the NHL. As a last line of defense there, Andrei Vasilevsky. So the Lightning have the defense to shut down the Panthers offense, and they have the offense to go toe-to-toe with them. So, and I think the Lightning swept them last year. They played in the playoffs last year. So I think they swept them too. So maybe you taking them in 5 is a good call. I'm going to give the Panthers a little bit more credit, though. I'll take Lightning in 6.
That's fair. I was thinking about 6 to be honest, and I try to play a little bit of strategy because I figured that you were going to go there in 6. I thought that might be a place where I could get an extra point, because I'm trying to play catch up right now. So
sure.
I think if I can, find a way to differentiate our picks, the game is going to be exactly, that's going to be the place where I can make it up. So that's why I'm being aggressive on this one.
All right, so there it is. We're both on the Lightning. You got them in 5. I got them in 6. Let's head to the other Eastern Conference series here, the New York Rangers against the Carolina Hurricanes. What do you got for this one?
I got the Rangers. I got the Rangers on the upset. And so, 2 upsets in the Eastern Conference. We talked about it a lot in the first round. And you were saying that the reason why you had called the Rangers frauds, early in the season, they had fixed it because they weren't like giving Shesterkin any type of help. And they weren't doing it in the first half of the series either. They ended up locking up, coming back down 3-1 and winning the series. I think that they gave themselves a chance. And so I think if the Rangers continue to play good defense on the front end in front of Shesterkin and not, force him to have to make 80 saves in a game or whatever, high crazy number. If he just has to be a solid goalie, New York is the pick for me here. And so I think that they do it in 6 as well. Carolina also got pushed by Boston. I thought Boston was going to upset them in the last one. I wasn't a big believer of Carolina coming into this thing. And so why not just fade them again? Because now they're going to face a team that, once again, better on offense, better goaltending, and they showed in the last series that they can beat God. And so I think New York has a very, very good chance to get this.
I completely disagree with you on that one. We're on complete opposite sides for this one. So this might be a swing series for us. I'm going Hurricanes in 5. I think they make quick work of the Rangers. The Rangers are a terrible hockey team. I'm now back on the train of calling them frauds. And not only that, I'm sick of seeing their fans on Twitter. Their fans are the biggest narcissistic scumbags on the internet. So I'm done with the Rangers. There is a deserve to win-o-meter that a website does where they look at all the advanced analytics for a series and then they show the percentages of how what the percentage of each team was to deserve to win. The Penguins' deserve to win-o-meter was at 93.2%. The Rangers are at 6.8%. They got absolutely dominated in the first round against the Penguins, and they somehow managed to win. A big reason because of how they did that was Crosby got hurt. Sidney Crosby, arguably he's a little past his prime, but one of the greatest hockey players of all time. They're up 2-0 in Game 5 in the series closing game. Crosby got hurt. They blew the 2-0 lead and then went on to lose 3 straight games. If Crosby doesn't get hurt, that series would have been over probably right there in Game 5. The Rangers finished last amongst all teams in the first round with an expected goals against of 4.28. And they allowed 18.48 high danger scoring chances per game, which is 4 more than the Panthers averaged in the regular season, which was the best mark in the NHL. Their defense got dominated, and now they take on a much, much better Hurricanes team. Like, the Hurricanes are much better than the Penguins are. I think they make quick work of them. They're minus 220 favorites for a reason. Shesterkin, I don't think, has much left in his tank after that series. Hurricanes in 5, they make quickies, and I almost wanted to take them to sweep, but Shesterkin will steal 1 game for them probably. So Hurricanes in 5.
That's tough. I'm letting you know, this for sure is going to be the swing now. This for sure is going to be the swing, and I cannot wait until the Rangers upset. Once this series is at 2-2, you're going to be shaking in your boots.
All right,
you're going to be shaking.
All right, we'll see. Let's move on to the Western Conference. Let's talk about the Avalanche and the Blues. Avalanche, massive favorites, Stanley Cup favorites as well right now. Big upset in this round, Donovan, or are you going with the favorites?
Listen, I'm going with the upset again. I'm taking the St. Louis Blues in 7. This is a revenge series, if I'm correct. The Colorado, they swept St. Louis last year in the playoffs. I think for Colorado to get this series, I think they're gonna have to win game 1. Like for real. I think that St. Louis is a little bit rested. I think that they're going to come into game 1 the rest of the series. And if they can give themselves that 1-0 cushion, now you can win 3 out of 6 rather than having to win 4 out of 6 if you lose game 1. I don't know. I'm just not all in on Colorado. I'm just not there. And I think that St. Louis once again have that championship grit. They were able to handle Minnesota, I think you had Minnesota beating them in 5?
6.
6? Okay. That's a little more than what I thought. But I think that St. Louis is being a little bit underrated. Like, they should obviously like still be underdogs, but plus 325 is still a little much for me. So I'm gonna go with the big upset here. We might see a trend with me and upsets in this round.
Well, this one, in terms of me winning this challenge here, then I guess I should be happy because they're not gaining any points on me in this one because I got Blues to 7.
Okay.
We somehow agree on the biggest upset of the round. But yeah, I'm not a big believer in the Avalanche. I thought the Wild would beat them this round. I would have liked to see the Wild in this round, but I'll take the Blues instead. The Avalanche weren't great defensively this season, 21st in high danger scoring chances allowed, and now they take on a team that was by far the best shooting team in the entire NHL. The Blues shooting percentage was almost 1% higher than the next best team this season. So if the Avalanche allow a lot of high danger scoring chances, then the Blues are going to be able to take advantage. And I think the Avalanche are being overrated now because they swept a really, really bad Predators team who also didn't have their starting all-star goalie. So I think they're being overvalued in this series. So I think it's going to be a close one, but I'm with you. Blues in 7.
Look at that. Look at that.
Let's see if we agree on the last series, the Calgary Flames against the Edmonton Oilers, the Battle of Alberta, or as our boss Brian pronounced it, Alberta. Oilers plus 160 underdogs, Flames minus 195. First time that the Battle of Alberta has happened in the playoffs since 1991, I believe. Donovan, did you know what Alberta was before I started saying this?
I've heard of Alberta. I don't know. I was about to ask you, is it East, Middle, or West Canada?
So you don't think you could point to Alberta on a map?
No.
It's tough.
I don't. I think honestly, I think I just figured out last year where Vancouver was. Like, I know Vancouver's on the West Coast, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I know where Vancouver is, and I know where Toronto is. Okay. I don't know.
Do you know where Nova Scotia is?
Yes, because I think you've pointed it to us on the map before. But I don't know where Montreal is either. So They don't listen. The U.S. education system is not fantastic.
You guys just focus on yourselves. That's all right.
Yeah. World geography. I'm telling you, in seventh grade here in Texas, where I grew up, seventh grade history is Texas history. You don't do like anything else. You focus specifically on this state, and I don't think any other state does
crazy.
That. It's just us.
That's wild.
Texas is very crazy. But yeah, so I don't know where Alberta is. I don't know.
It is in Western Canada. It's be like Ontario, which is where Toronto is, and then if you go a little bit more west, it's Alberta.
Okay.
It's very flat, very prairie, very blue collar, like oil rigs, a lot of oil in Alberta. That's why they're called the Edmonton Oilers. But
okay. So it's like Midwest Canada?
Yeah, like it's not West Coast, but it'd be Western. So yeah, okay. I guess Midwest, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I've picked 3 underdogs so far. Picked the Lightning, Rangers, Blues. We're gonna do it again. I'm taking the Oilers. In 6 on this one. I think that I underestimated the Kings as underdogs in the last round, and I thought that the Oilers were gonna make light work of them. Because I was looking at the goal differential wasn't great. Looking at the point stuff wasn't awesome. But the thing that I have repeatedly pointed at towards a lot of other teams, which is like playoff experience, championship grit, a lot of that stuff, the Kings had, and I severely underrated that. So I think that the Oilers actually won a really, really good series, and like their win, even though they went 7, is actually very, very impressive. Calgary, and I don't know if for the Flames, I don't know if this is because of like the matchup or they just got exposed in the first round against the Stars, but their offense was not great in the first round. And I think that like if you are going to move on in the playoffs, like eventually you're going to have to be able to score goals rather than just stop them. And I think Edmonton is going to be able to do a better job of that. And the Flames are probably going to get stuck. Like if Edmonton gets up 2-0, I don't think Calgary has, the capacity in them to come back. So I don't think that their offense looked impressive. And so I think Edmonton is going to be able to put a couple goals on them and get this series in 6.
All right, I disagree with you on this one. Same amount of games, though. We both think it's going to go 6. I'm going to go Flames in 6, though.
Okay. So do you think that it was more just a stylistic matchup in terms of why the scoring was the way that was with the Flames in the first round, or
in the series with the Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stars are an extremely defensive-oriented team, very slow pace, very defensive. And Jake Oettinger was the Stars goalie. He was the, no pun intended, the star of the first round of the playoffs. He had by far the highest save percentage. I don't know if you watched Game 7 or not, but the Flames had, I think it was 59 shots in that game, and Stars had 28, and it still had to go to overtime before the Flames finally won. Ironically, they won on kind of a weak goal too. But the Flames, I mean, yeah, they generated offense. They just couldn't put the puck in the net. Now, I guess you could argue that's on the Flames, that they couldn't, their shooting percentage wasn't very high. But I think that was more of just a product of Jake Oettinger just standing on his head that series. Because the Flames had 14.75 high danger scoring chances per game. They only allowed 9.51. They had the second highest Corsi percentage in the first round at 60.14%. The Avalanche were the only team that were better. So they truly, even though the series went to overtime in Game 7, analytically, they dominated the Dallas Stars. I think they're the better overall team. I have a future on the Flames to win the Western Conference. I think the Oilers have issues. I think they have issues on defense. I don't think they have the depth. The issue is the Oilers' top line, obviously Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, is the best line in hockey. But when they're not on the ice, the Oilers seem to struggle. And Mike Smith, their goaltender, has been a little bit streaky at times too. So I think the Flames are the better team from top to bottom. I think they get it done in 6.
So do you think that this series is going to be like much more like wide up? Like are you betting the overs on a lot of these games?
It's interesting. I'm not going to bet the total in the first game. I want to see how Game 1 goes, because the Oilers in Kings series was the complete opposite of the Stars Flames series, where the Oilers Kings series was way wide open, no defense at all, and then the Stars and Flames is all defense. So I think it'll probably meet in the middle. I think it'll be like a average series in terms of offense and defense, because the Flames can play offense, but they also can play very good defense. The Oilers have one of the best offenses in the NHL, not a great defense. So I think that the first round, the Stars and Flames, is more product of the Stars being able to kind of play their style of hockey and also having some good goaltending. So I think it's going to be a little bit more of a wide open series. So yeah, I think the Flames get it done. I think they're too deep for the Oilers.
Okay. Little chalky, but it's okay. Listen, I got 4 underdogs. This is crazy. And I actually didn't realize that I had 4 underdogs until I just said it.
Yeah.
Until right now. So listen, it is what it is, you know?
It is what it is. It's an aggressive move. I'm surprised that both of us are on the Blues. We'll see. The Avalanche are just going to sweep them, and then we're both going to feel like idiots.
Yeah.
Do we have a recap graphic? I think maybe we do. Yes, we do. Look at that. Round 2 picks. I'm heading into the round with a 9-7 lead. I got Lightning in 6, Hurricanes in 5, Blues in 7, Flames in 6. Donovan has Lightning in 5, Rangers in 6, Blues in 7, Oilers in 6. So we kind of said it when it happened. I think the real swing series in the second round is going to be the Hurricanes and the Rangers. If one of us can nail both the team and the series, that's going to be a huge difference maker. That's going to be 3 points to one guy and 0 to the other. So obviously Lightning, we'll see what happens. The Flames and Oilers, we'll see what happens. No points are going to be decided in the Blues and the Avalanche series, no matter what happens. So we'll see. Okay, there's round 2.
This is very interesting. That Hurricanes Rangers series. I'm gonna stick with it. I know Reed has a future. He has like a 14-1 future on the Hurricanes to win it all. And I'm sorry, Reed, but I am now actively praying on your downfall. I'm praying for you to lose money because I need the Rangers to come through and do this. Also, did we ever figure out what the stakes are for this? Like, what are you doing after I beat you? What's going to be your consequence?
Did we not figure that out?
I can't remember if we did.
I don't know.
Do you remember what it was?
No.
Okay. We'll figure it out before the next round.
All right. Unless I'm losing. And then, are we doing a jersey? Is BetSided covering the jersey? Joanne chimes in that the win. I think that is what we decided. The winner was going to get a jersey. I thought we were going to ask the powers that be if that can be covered by BetSided. TBD. TBD. So we'll see. If we can get that covered, then the winner gets a jersey. If not, then I don't know. Maybe I'll send you a cheap bottle of wine or something.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, so there we go. That's round 2 of the rookie versus the vet. 2-point lead for myself. We'll see what happens in this round, and we'll be back for the conference championships in probably about 2 weeks' time.
Can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait.
From myself, from Donovan, best luck with your NHL bets, your NHL picks. Round 2 starts tonight. Enjoy the series. We'll talk to you next time.